This video shows the design for a very durable minimalist 3-pocket molded leather palm-sized purse. The 3¼ inch by 4-inch size is perfect for carrying coins, currency, small USB drives or SD cards, and payment cards. After I sketched and drafted the design in 1:1 scale using AutoCAD, I used a 3-inch by 6-inch by 3/8 inch deep wet mold for the top and offset the bottom mold to 1/16 of an inch for the reverse lining, which makes 2 pockets. To use the molds, I soaked 2 pieces of 3 to 4 ounce vegetable tan strap leather for 10 minutes in room temperature water, then squeezed the leather into the molds using a vise for 20 minutes and used plastic wrap as a moisture barrier. I used 1/8 inch acrylic to make cutout patterns and glue up jigs with a hobby-sized laser cutter. Then I cut out the leather parts for the lined 3¼ by 4-inch card-size back pocket, 2-inch lined utility pocket, wear leather and lined flap from a side split to 2 ounce. The flap lid with wear leather on the end and the raised and lined keeper adds extra strength and functionality to the fashionable palm-sized purse design, which can also be jazzed up with a little color. An airbrush is an excellent way to apply dye to leather. I use a Phoebe's product called EcoFlow and am spraying coal black and range tan. I wear a mask and rubber gloves as a safety precaution. Then I let the leather dry completely, which is usually a few hours. After the parts are colored, assembly can begin. Starting from the back of the purse, the 2-inch utility pocket opening can be finished and attached to the back of the card pocket. A glue-up jig makes it easier to center the pocket, and a small weight helps to distribute the pressure to create a strong bond. Then the back pocket edges can be skived, and the raised edge reinforcement leather glued and stitched into place. I find the saddle stitch the best choice to use for hand stitching leather. I use John James number 004 Saddler's harness needles because they are small yet very durable, and chose Ritza gray 0.6mm bonded nylon thread because it is very strong with tight fibers that resist the thread catching. Starting with a triple back stitch, then stitch moving forward pulling the material towards me, then finish with a triple back stitch. To finish a row of stitching, I tie off and use a lighter or battery powered thread zapper to burn off the ends. After the back pockets are assembled, the inside pocket is glued to the lining and trimmed flush. A construction jig comes in handy to punch the stitching holes, but also I use a punch pad to protect the lining from being marked up and to protect the ends of the chisels. Since the lid will be mostly bent into a closed position, the lid is glued and stitched in 2 parts to accommodate the curve around the pocket to minimize the lining bunching up at the bend. The raised and lined keeper is also glued and stitched into place in 2 parts. The ends are left unglued so they can be glued tightly around the lid and pocket curve during final assembly. The mold itself is the perfect size to shape the keeper after gluing. Small electrical clamps are great for controlling the amount of pressure I add to create a strong flat bond, but not enough pressure to mark the surface of the leather, so they are perfect for shaping raised and lined parts. After the pockets and keeper are glued and stitched, the remaining edges need to be finished. I used my electric sander and finished with sanding sticks, then beveled and dyed the edges. When dry, the edges are burnished and painted, then gently sanded between layers until a nice finish is achieved. The final conditioning is when the hard and stiff building materials I used are turned into a luxurious, soft-to-the-touch minimalist leather purse. I like to use a Phoebe's oil and wax product called Aussie and use paper towels to rub it in, then remove the excess. A bone folder is an excellent tool to help open the flat pockets a little bit, making it easier to condition them. I will condition again in a few days after the conditioner has had a chance to be absorbed, then add more conditioner when needed. The conditioner will help stop the strap leather from cracking and provide a nice soft finish that allows the minimalist leather purse to age gracefully as it is being used, developing into a worn-in patina that improves with age.